drink Road Dog coffee. If you're in the industry, it kind of makes sense to drink the coffee that supports you and supports the industry. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Welcome to Beyond the Bulldog, presented by Mack Trucks. I'm your host, Brian Wright. What you can expect from Beyond the Bulldog is to learn, enjoy, and participate from the comfort of your seat, whether on the road or off. You'll engage in topics and stories from people that work in the trucking industry, including some who work for Mack Trucks. This is mile marker number 12, and our special guest is Spencer Squier, CEO and founder of Road Dog Coffee Company. This coffee brand produces premium coffee for our highway heroes and gives back to the trucking industry. In this episode, you'll learn how Spencer got into the trucking business, why our nation's truckers are the unsung heroes, and how Road Dog Coffee Company's mission is to honor the men and women in the trucking industry.
You're listening to Beyond the Bulldog, presented by Mack Trucks.
We are here with Spencer Squier, CEO and founder of Road Dog Coffee Company. Welcome and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Brian.
We talked a little bit last week about this podcast. For the audience, why don't you introduce Road Dog Coffee Company, what you do, some of your background?
Yeah. So Road Dog Coffee Company was launched last year. It's America's first coffee company to showcase and support the trucking industry. It kind of stemmed from the year 2020 when we were in the middle of a pandemic and everything was shut down. All you heard on the news was, our truckers were heroes, and you can never hear that enough. And then 21 rolls around, and the economy opens back up, and they're the forgotten man and woman. So it kind of started making me think a little bit, because I have a passion for coffee, and how can I bring the two together and make Road Dog Coffee Company an awareness company and an accessibility company. So awareness is to educate the general public on how important our truck drivers are, our highway heroes.
Yeah.
And accessibility is to allow our drivers out there to access premium coffee that they cannot get in truck stops. So I launched Road Dog Coffee Company in 24, and we support the industry. We're the official coffee for Reeds across America.
Yep.
So we got a whole lot of things in the works. More things coming down the pipeline. So pretty excited. I come from a background of trucking. I had my ex-wife and I had a company called Allstate Express.
Yeah.
Had it since 1996. Started out as a medical courier company, and then migrated into trucking in around 2000, 2001.
How did that happen?
By accident. and the old Roberts Express. Which is now FedEx Custom Critical, So, but anyway, we got rid of the company in 2021, and here I am now serving the industry through coffee.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how did you get into trucking overall? I mean, you said it started as a medical supply.
Yeah. So I actually worked for the phone company, doing business telephone systems.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was driving a Geo Prism, if you can ever remember that car, the Geo.
I sure do.
And our office was right beside a company that did home infusion therapy type stuff. And I was actually out back one day on a Saturday washing vans for extra money. And my wife, well, she wasn't my wife at the time, she come out back. She was the head nurse manager there. And she got into a panic because they had some deliveries that came up that were stat. And the courier company that they were using was pretty unreliable, but that was the only option they had.
Yeah.
So she asked me one Saturday afternoon if I could help her out, and I said, sure, let me just finish up here and I'll go knock them out.
Yeah.
And one of them, I'll never forget the little lady here. Her name was Miss Duggins here over in Winston-Salem. And she called in, was talking about the new courier driver. She just loved the new courier driver. He's so sweet. So that kind of just put things in motion. Yeah. And she's like, why don't you just talk to the general manager and take the account over? So that's kind of what I did. And then we ended up taking over the Red Cross in North Carolina, doing a lot of their deliveries. And then 2000, 2001 is where the Roberts Express thing came in.
Yeah.
Kept seeing these stray trucks riding around with these big sleepers on them.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a weird looking stray truck. So I kind of, did some nosing around the industry a little bit and actually rented a Isuzu cab over straight truck.
Yeah.
and was running weekly loads to Coldwater, Michigan myself, and still doing operations and dispatch over the phone. And, it was just, but then it kind of, migrated into what became Allstate Express. And,
So what was life like for you on the road?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It had a lot of freedom. It was intense at times with traffic, and you're kind of out there dodging the four-wheeler a little bit. And I was in a straight truck. I wasn't in a tractor trailer or anything. But I mean, it made me really appreciate our truckers even more, what they go through and what they see, the lack of respect that they get on the interstates.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Ignorance and not understanding the industry and not understanding what they go through. I guess people just look at them as an inconvenience, as a problem on the highway.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're pulling 50 feet behind you and you're trying to change lanes in heavy traffic because you have to get to point A to point B, that's not the easiest thing to do.
No. No, it's not.
Even when you try your best, it's not always easy. Things happen, right? But it is very interesting because when you think about the cargo they're providing, everyone loves that part, right? You think of all these major retailers out there, and it's like, click on your phone, you get it tomorrow. There's a lot that goes on between click and delivery, and trucking's the part of it.
Yeah, they are the lifeblood of the United States, or the whole world, really. I mean, you've got to have them. Without them, if people would just take a minute and imagine life without trucks and truckers.
Yeah.
Imagine it. Go back to 2020 when everything was shut down and there was this big panic over toilet paper and paper towels. And now imagine if there was nobody delivering that stuff.
Delivering vaccines.
Yeah.
The panic of COVID, right? I need to get this. And all of a sudden, you don't have the infrastructure to produce millions of these articles and products and stuff like that. And to get it out, well, they don't just appear.
No, they do not.
So, all right, so you're driving straight trucks up to Michigan.
Yeah.
And things change. You see something new. And what's that transition to go from, deliveries straight truck to, all right, you have a sleeper and a flatbed?
Driving the straight truck and then transitioning into the big trucks, it was a big deal because you got more responsibility with a bigger truck. We started to get into some flatbed stuff. We were moving that through our brokerage division, and the liability that goes in with that is just different. If a guy doesn't tarp the load right, or there's something, water damage or whatever, you just bought the load. There's a lot of risk and a lot of responsibility with that versus just putting it in the back of a 53-foot drive-in and forgetting about it.
So your company grew, right?
It did.
It's not just one truck and you going up and down. How did you manage that growth? I mean, obviously you're getting more business.
Very good employees.
Yeah.
A lot of hats roaming around the office. Hiring a lot of good talent.
Yeah.
That understood the industry, from sales to accounting to operations, the inside customer service teams, helping execute the vision.
Yeah.
Of how I wanted Allstate Express to grow and go.
That's big.
That's huge.
Really big. I mean, from the trucker who delivers to the loading dock is representing you and your vision in your company.
Yep.
And how they behave, how they look, how they deliver.
That's right.
Is Allstate Express.
Yeah, they're an extension of the sales team.
So how'd you get them to buy that and feel part of it?
Treat them like human beings.
Okay.
And true team members, and truly giving a crap about them. If they were in the office, because I would always encourage them, if you're in the office, stop by, let's go grab lunch, or let's just kind of hang out and chat, learning about their lives. They have bills just like we have bills. They have college tuitions. They have all the same headaches and problems that we have every day.
Yeah.
It's just, they're out on the road doing things and trying to manage from afar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just treat them with respect. I mean, they're human beings, and I've got a huge passion for truck drivers. I mean, I just really do.
Yeah.
I do. They're great people once you get to know them. They're not some like aliens from a different planet. They're just kind of No, they're human beings.
It's hard work on the road.
Very hard work. Very hard work.
I travel a lot, and my challenge on the road is keeping my attention, staying awake. I run, and when I have a chance to sit down, I relax.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to keep that focus. And I'm not driving 8 to 11 hours, per day,
right?
And doing that kind of thing. It's a lot of breaks in between and trying to keep things going.
If you're driving your personal vehicle and you're going on a vacation, you can pop into a gas station. You're in and out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Truckers, whether you're in a straight truck or a tractor trailer, you can't just pop in and pop out.
Yeah.
And there's long fuel lines. Mm-hmm. And if you're a true over-the-road driver, now you're getting tickets for showers. You're lines for the showers if there's if there are lines, which there are at times. So it's they have a very stressful life. They go through a lot of different variables in their job that when you're on the road traveling, you don't have to endure those.
Yeah.
You're in and out. You're back on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I was just traveling Sunday, road closure, right? Or they stopped the traffic. Well, a lot of these apps these days can show you an alternate route. You just pop off and exit and go. Mm-hmm. In a semi, you don't necessarily have that luxury because you might be going down a road that doesn't work or go in the direction you want it to. You don't have the maneuverability. So,
or a low-hanging bridge that you got to, like it's 12 feet tall or, whatever, right? And you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Now you got to get turned around.
Mm-hmm. And that's not always the easiest thing to do. No. So yeah, it's not easy driving a truck. So what are some of your favorite stories with Allstate?
Well, one that really sticks out, and this wasn't one of our big truck drivers. It was actually one of our Sprinter van guys. Happened to be in a truck stop, and one of our competitors, they had a cargo van there as well, and the guy was asleep in his van, and I don't know really the full story of how it happened, but the back of his van caught on fire, and our driver actually went over there and beat on the guy's window to get him awake and get him out. I mean, had he not done that, that could have been disastrous.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that really was really cool is to hear about another driver. Again, they're still over the road just because they're in a van, coming to the aid of another fellow driver.
Yeah, and
really putting themselves in a position like that that could have went disastrous, had that thing blown up or who knows what. Other stories. We were during 9/11. We were hauling tents out of Missouri into Ground Zero, and we come to find out they were actually being used as morgues. And our driver, and this is another thing that people don't realize, during natural disasters, tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, whatever.
Yeah,
truck drivers are like first responders in a way. Now you got your first responders, badge wearing first responders. Then you got the general public, and you got the trucking industry that respond, bringing in goods, to help, whether it's lumber to bottled water to whatever. Yeah, we were carrying these tents that were being used as morgues, and I'll never forget talking to one of the drivers. There was a husband and wife team, and she was pretty distraught because they were carrying bodies by the truck.
Yeah,
and I just couldn't imagine, the smell and just the visuals of that, how that would affect somebody. But so truckers, they see a lot and they're exposed to a lot.
Yeah,
the best stories are when you deliver on time,
right?
Without incident.
Yeah,
right. So
doing the things you're supposed to do doesn't always get the fanfare and the praise that it should, because that's what's expected.
Yeah.
But when you start delivering on time consistently, your reputation goes up.
Yeah.
But you still don't get a lot of the pat on the back. You just continue the business, which is the reward, right?
That's right. And truckers aren't looking for pats on the back, and they just want the respect and the recognition that they deserve. Just treat us as equals.
Today, we highlight Road Dog Coffee Company and their premium coffee for the highway hero within. Your first order comes with a 20% discount. You can select from many different coffees, from the blonde roast, named Women Truckers Love Coffee, to the popular medium roast, Long Haul, to their dark roast, Black Dog. Road Dog Coffee Company offers its coffee to anyone who supports and loves our highway heroes. Road Dog Coffee is focused on its mission of supporting the men and women of transportation who work hard, day in and day out, because they love what they do and we love them. Your initial order receives a 20% discount. After that, use the code MACK15, no spaces, to receive a 15% discount on your additional purchases. That's MACK15. Visit RoadDogCoffee.com today and get on the road. We are here with Spencer Squier. He's the CEO and founder of Road Dog Coffee Company, and touched on the fact that you had a trucking company. So you know the fabric, you know the driver, and you've got a good mission. But we've talked a little bit already about the truckers. They're being the first responders, the unsung heroes. I mean, we've had floods in North Carolina, now currently in Texas, among other things. And when people need supplies and the infrastructure's down like roads, you got to get those things there. And that's what truckers do.
Yep, they do. They do in a big way. And you think about, you mentioned, the Hurricane Helene that came through and just devastated western North Carolina, and then the ones in Texas, and there's other disaster areas like that. You think about the actual truckers who are living in those areas, whose trucks were floating down rivers. Yeah, they lost their livelihood. Now they got insurance and all that, but still, there's that pause, there's that time there's that gap, before they can get back out there generating revenue for their families, and then they got the headaches of losses and things like that. So it's amazing to see how the trucking industry responds to a situation. Yeah, it's just amazing,
and there's a pride to it.
Yeah,
right. Knowing that what you're providing, what you're delivering, is for the greater good.
Yep.
It's your job.
It is.
But, I guess you can call that akin to first responders. They're not going into these sites, excited about what they're going to see and experience, but they're there because of that pride,
right,
in what they're doing. What do you think a trucker would say when you ask them why they drive?
A lot of it is the freedom of the road, not being stuck in a small office behind a desk. Yeah. Independency of whether you're a company driver or an owner operator or whatever, you're still out on the road. You still have that independency. It's kind of like being a rebel in a way. You're kind of like that. You're that
road warrior, man.
Yeah, you're a road warrior.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those guys that I would talk to that came through Allstate Express. That just love the freedom of the road. It's kind of like driving a glorified big RV. You're seeing different, unless you're on some kind of dedicated route, but you're seeing different parts of the country that maybe you don't get to see. Yeah, you're experiencing different things. So it's almost like being on a permanent vacation to some degree.
It is, because there's some beautiful parts of the country.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, you can go from dense forest to desert to mountains. I had my family in Illinois over the 4th of July. Yeah. And they hadn't seen miles of corn. and of course, they have windmills there, too. And you don't see a lot of that around North Carolina either. But, there's always something new to see as well. Yeah. And truckers sacrifice a lot.
They do.
Obviously, they're on the road.
Time away from their family, their kids. Yeah. It's just like a service member being deployed, overseas or something for months at a time, weeks at a time. You kind of miss that time away from your kids and your spouse. There's a lot of sacrifice being a trucker. There really is.
Yeah,
there really is.
So. And I think it starts with accepting that they're on the road. Yeah, they're delivering the good stuff, and give them some space. Give them some leeway. Yep. Because it's not so easy when you have something that big, traveling up and down mountains and
That's
whatever
true.
it might be.
That's true. And one thing, it's like my daughters. I've got identical twin girls, and when we were going through the process of teaching them how to drive, we would come down the highway and come up beside a tractor trailer,
Yeah.
and we would get to that little area they call the kill zone, where it's they can see you but they can't see you.
Yeah.
It's kind of right there at the nose of the trailer where it hooks in with the fifth wheel, in that area, and that's kind of called the kill zone. And I would always tell them, when you're passing a trucker on the road, don't ride beside of him. You get up in that kill zone area, you get by him.
Yeah.
Get your nose of your car out there by his window so he can see you or she can see you.
Yeah.
And respect them. Give them the space, and take some of the stress off of them.
Yeah.
Because their job's already stressful enough. They don't need a bunch of four-wheelers out there navigating around them and making things more difficult.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that drivers got. They've got to be dynamic thinkers.
Yeah.
They're managing a lot out there on the road.
Yeah. I mean, the same thing with mine. Don't drive in the blind spot, even on
Right.
a pedestrian car. If you're just hanging out beside somebody, they're going to look at their mirrors, but they might not see you.
That's
So
right.
if you're going to be alongside, provided you can, otherwise back up a little bit so that you can at least see it.
Yeah.
If you see a truck, if you can't see their mirrors, they can't see you.
That's
I
right.
always see people tailgating.
That's
that
right.
53-foot trailer, like they have no idea
No,
that
they
you're
don't.
there.
They don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so. I mean, and that's where Road Dog Coffee. Like I said, we're a young company, mission driven. We want to bring that awareness to the public through coffee bags, education, to
Yeah.
whatever we can do to help contribute to make make life better for everybody.
Yeah, because I was just going to ask you how do you reshape that perspective
Yeah.
and that perception of drivers on the road throughout the industry?
Yeah.
I guess we kind of touched on it a little bit as far as giving them respect and things like that. Obviously, you've gone a different angle, and you're creating awareness through coffee.
Yeah, and coffee is something that we all like. We all enjoy it. Great conversations are had with a cup of coffee. A lot of business deals are made over coffee.
Yeah,
It just kind of made sense. Coffee and trucking.
yeah. I mean, there's trucker coffee for a
Yeah.
reason, right?
Yep, there is trucker coffee for a reason.
This Week in History.
This week in history, Mack Brothers Company is incorporated in Brooklyn, New York in 1901. The story begins in 1890. Jack Mack and his brother Gus found work at the highly regarded Brooklyn carriage and wagon factory of Fallison and Berry. When Mr. Fallison decided to retire in 1893, Jack and Gus decided to buy the business. Jack took charge of production, and Gus became the office manager and sales department head. They named the business Mack Brothers as a partnership. In 1894, Jack Mack decided to discontinue the carriage business and concentrate on heavy wagon production and repair. The business grew, and on July 26, 1901, the Mack Brothers incorporated and became the Mack Brothers Company. As stated in the papers of the incorporation, the business of the company was the manufacture of carriages, wagons, and harness. But no mention was made of motor vehicles. Mack corporate literature reports that Jack Mack's personal ride in a 1901 Winton touring car provided the inspiration for Mack Company's entry into the gasoline-powered vehicle market. In 1903, Mack Brothers Company produced its first gasoline-powered bus. It had a 4-cylinder engine, heavy-duty nickel-steel axles, long semi-elliptical springs, and traveled at an average speed of 12 miles per hour. The bus body designed by Gus Mack accommodated 15 passengers. The rest is history.
This has been This Week in History.
We are here with Spencer Squier. He is CEO and founder of Road Dog Coffee. For those watching, we've got a couple of his bags on our table.
Yeah.
So you want to give back to the trucking industry. Coffee's the way.
Coffee's the way. We do donations. We're actually in the process of building out what's called the RDCC fund, which has already been designated as a 501c3.
Okay.
And that'll be another little way that we can, raise money to give back to various groups like Truckers Against Human Smuggling, and different industry groups or even one-off situations. We can make a direct donation into a driver who may have been affected by whatever, lost his ride, and so we've got that in the works right now. But right now it's donations, giving coffee to groups and individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raising awareness. Helping those in need.
Mm-hmm.
And as it grows, it gets better.
Yeah.
What's your vision?
Well, to be in every truck dealership, anywhere we can get the coffee, just get it completely dominating the industry,
Yeah.
No more Maxwell House and Folgers. Drink Road Dog coffee. If you're in the industry, it kind of makes sense to drink the coffee that supports you and supports the industry. Why wouldn't you want to do that? It just kind of makes sense. Keep everything in the ecosystem.
Completely get that.
Yeah.
All right. So trucker coffee. When you have trucker coffee, you know what it is. It's out there.
Yeah.
Is it just extra strong, or is it coffee that was brewed in the morning and they haven't made a new batch by the time you get there? Kind
of a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Road Dog coffee is truly premium coffee. It's not low grade junk. It's really really quality coffee, premium stuff.
Well, did you have any experience in coffee other than drinking it?
No, I mean just educating yourself over the years about coffee. Coffee is very it's very scientific. There's a lot to learn with it. It's like being a chef.
Okay.
You got to know how to roast the coffee. How to put flavors together. What regions complement each other. I've actually had people. Well, what if you did like three different beans or something like that? Well, now you're getting complicated. So one or two, two is about what you'd want, on a blend. You start adding a third bean thing, it gets really complicated. And you're doing a lot of crossovers of flavors and things like that. So, kind of take for instance this Highways and Heroes. It's an Ethiopia Yirgacheffe and a Mexican Chiapas blend. And Ethiopia is where coffee was invented. That's the mother of all coffees. That's where it came from.
I always thought it was like Central
Not Colombia,
South America.
Brazil. No, it is Ethiopia.
Okay.
That is the mothership of coffee. That's why Ethiopian coffee is so good. But we launched this bag in December. Like I said earlier, we're the official coffee for Reeds across America, and we launched this bag to showcase our drivers and our veterans, because the veteran community is the most diverse group in trucking.
Yeah.
And we support a lot of different organizations like the Veteran Radio Summit. It's a bridge that helps the military truckers enter into the private sector of trucking.
Yeah.
So we support them. We were the official coffee also of the Women's Military Museum in D.C. It's a museum that just showcases our female veterans. We donated a bunch of coffee. Our light roast, which is our Women Truckers Love coffee bag.
Yeah.
It's an all pink bag, really good coffee. So Highways and Heroes is something, like I said, we launched in December for our veterans. And then I told you about the black dog that you never want to see on the road. Never want to see the black dog.
That is the truth. Yeah. So how do you get to sourcing beans? I mean, you've got all these different regions throughout the world, right?
Yeah, you work with different importers. I've got a good friend of mine that owns an importing company in Raleigh, and that's where all the coffee is roasted, the Holly Springs area.
Yeah.
And we import directly from him. And he's Honduran, and owns his own farms over there. And he's a phenomenal person.
Yeah.
Great guy. And importers and direct from farms.
Well, coffee's different, right?
It is.
You have different roasts, light, medium, dark. There are some flavor differences between the beans too. You can equate it to bourbon, or I guess
Yep.
we'll talk about cigars in the future. But it's not just black coffee or
Right.
light roast. How do you find out? Okay, this is what we want to promote for Black Dog versus Long Haul versus whatever else. That's got to fit too, doesn't it?
It does. So, like Black Dog, obviously is designed to it's the high caffeine. It's designed to scare the sleep out of you, and that's what it does. So it's ultra dark roast. It's really smooth. There's no bitter, ashy taste to it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of made sense that Black Dog make that a dark roast.
Yeah.
And the way we did that is it's you got to get the caffeine content, and this is not top secret knowledge or anything. Most people you can Google it and look it up. But to get your caffeine content, so we talked about this earlier. The longer you roast a coffee bean, you're roasting caffeine out of it, right? It's not a great deal of difference. It's not like you're just taking it from 100% down to 10%. It's very minute.
Yeah.
But to get the caffeine kick and to bring the caffeine levels back up, you introduce Robusta beans, which are high caffeine. Now, that's a more bitter tasting bean, so you got to really roast it right, or you're going to introduce a lot of bitterness to the coffee. And that's where your espressos and stuff, if you ever drink a straight espresso, it's kind of got that little bitter, just a lot of Robusta bean in there because of the caffeine that you need for an espresso. We decided to take Long Haul. It's just a medium roast. And that's an all-day drinking coffee, because long haul, transportation, it's a long, process. You're, long days on the road, long nights, whatever. So we wanted something that kind of married up to that, there you can drink it all day long. And, it's not just an immediate hit like Black Dog is. And Highways and Heroes, same thing.
Yeah.
You want that to be a good all-day drinking coffee. Because it has its purpose of serving, your daily routine. Yeah. So morning to night.
That is tremendous. So, starting with Allstate Express, right? You've had experience in the trucking world by accident, which turned into success.
By accident, yeah.
From vans to straight trucks to, pulling tractor trailers, and now we're drinking coffee and supporting those that are the heroes in the industry.
Yep. And later this year, we'll be coming out with Road Dog Cigar Company. Same concept. Our first 3 launches will be Black Dog, Highways and Heroes, and Long Haul.
Okay.
Will be the first 3 cigars we do.
Yeah.
Same concept. Give back, and then trucking companies, when they hold these golf tournaments, can buy cigars from us.
Perfect.
To get all their players. So.
And you always want to celebrate with a cigar.
Oh, yeah.
Or chill out and relax.
Yeah. Everything goes well with a cigar. And, coffee and cigars, they go phenomenal. I mean, they're just phenomenal together because they're like sister plants. The similarities in the profiles from the earth and the regions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so when can we expect to see some cigars?
October, November
Yeah.
range. Yeah, it takes time to produce. You've got to get them rolled. Craft the blends. That's a long process. Yeah, you can get the labels done pretty quick, the boxes done, the bundles, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you are doing the actual production side of things, that's time consuming. That takes a little time.
Distribution of that's got to be a little bit different than coffee.
Yeah, they'll come in. They'll from the Dominican Republic is kind of where we've kind of landed.
Yeah.
So they, Nicaraguan cigars are great, more peppery tasting. We'll eventually do those, but we just wanted to do the DR first. But yeah, they'll come in. Haven't really decided if they'll come in through what port, what state, Miami, Alabama, wherever.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and then they'll make their way up here and go into inventory, and then the goal will be where people can bundle. You go online, you grab a bag of coffee, get a bundle of cigars, got to get a hat, T-shirt. We need people starting to go to the website, buying the apparel for Road Dog Coffee Company, and start wearing the brand, being the brand. We're just trying to do things that make sense for our drivers, for the industry, or anybody who just supports the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
The general public. If you love truckers and trucking and you think it's cool, buy the coffee. You know, support the brand.
You keep answering the question before I ask, which is brilliant. But let me ask you.
I did take mind reading classes. No, I just.
I mean, I like coffee. You like trucking. It merges together, and here we've got this. All right. So when someone looks at a bag of coffee or eventually the cigar, what do you want them to feel about Road Dog?
Passion, respect for the industry.
Yeah.
Because it means something,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just a, you know, I mean, it's a marketing machine. That's what we want to be. It becomes a marketing machine. Market to the general public on behalf of the trucking industry. It's just another way to do it, because, you know, a guy who's an attorney and, you know, his wife's at home or at work and whatever, they're not, you know, they don't know anything about trucking. They don't have a truck in their yard, but they can sure as hell have the coffee on the countertop, you know?
Yeah.
So, and you know, pay homage back to the industry that provides you all of your household items, everything you have. Came on a truck.
Perfect.
Give back. Support the mission.
I like it.
Yeah.
So where can people find Road Dog Coffee?
So roaddogcoffee.com is the best spot to get it. We're on TikTok with a TikTok shop, and Lowe's Foods carries the Black Dog and Long Haul coffee. If they don't have it in the store, ask the manager, why don't you have it?
Exactly right.
Why don't you have it? You know, you guys depend on trucks to bring your goods in, and you should carry the coffee, right?
Perfect.
But yeah, so Lowe's Foods and roaddogcoffee.com. Like I said, in TikTok, soon to be on Amazon. Working on that. Target.com will be an outlet before long, hopefully. Just trying to grow everywhere we can, you know, just trying to get it out there. And we need all the help and support we can get. If people buy the coffee, hey, tag us, Road Dog Coffee Company, on all social media. Tag us and show us your bags.
So let's dive into that real quick, because it seems like you've got a good pulse. When we initially spoke, it wasn't soon thereafter. We're now connected on LinkedIn and other social media. You know, for truckers in the trucking industry, a lot of times they may not understand the power that exists with social media and having that. Would you shed some light, your experience, and how maybe some truckers and trucking companies can utilize that to help their business?
Social media, I mean, it's a very powerful platform, you know, if it's used in the right way. And I'm still learning a lot of things about it, because I'm an old guy, and, you know, I'm still, you know, I didn't grow up with it. So I'm not like kids of today. They can just, but social media is it's a very powerful platform. You can make a lot of great connections, showcase your companies on there. Obviously, you got to do your hashtagging a little bit to kind of and continuously do that on keep your feeds going. But I would encourage everybody to get on social media and just really just try and dominate with your brand.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that would be being consistent with your message,
being consistent with the message,
being kind of frequent. So you've got know that pulse, if you will. If you ever see someone's social media and it's like they posted last year. Well, is that responsible, right?
Yeah, people lose interest. I mean, you've got to keep everything relevant. Like you said, consistent. You got to keep the flow going, because out of sight, out of mind, right?
Right.
And it's cheaper than billboards. You know? Billboards are expensive nowadays.
They are very expensive. But you know, when we're talking about raising perception and perspective of the industry, wow, you know, if trucking companies and drivers, you know, keep posting these things. Good messages. You know, hey, I just got my new bag of Road Dog coffee.
Yeah.
Whatever it happens to be, those little things can also help.
Oh, yeah. And paying it forward, you know, people reposting on their own network. You know, if you got a bag of coffee, post it on your own network, you know, just kind of push it on out through there, you know, throughout your network, and let it just kind of like take a life of its own. You know, I mean, I do that a lot for my friends.
Yeah.
You know, repost things for them, help push their brands.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, just supporting each other and helping each other.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Spencer Squier, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, glad to be here. Look forward to the next time.
Yes.
Yeah, love it. I'll bring you guys some more coffee the next time. Some more different
How about next
coffee.
week?
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you for tuning into Beyond the Bulldog with our guest Spencer Squier with Road Dog Coffee Company. We're working hard to provide the stories and topics that keep you entertained. Let us know what you think about this week's podcast. We're interested in what you want us to cover and what guests you think would make for an entertaining podcast. Please leave your comments and suggestions in the comments section below.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to follow the Bulldog.